Well, hello and welcome to Speed Feed. This is where you catch a glimpse of the latest news, hot stories and trending topics, everything that's happening in the news and around you that you need to know. You will get it here on Speed Feed. And today's a big day because it's budget day. And as we speak right now, Treasury CS Ukuriatani is headed to Parliament to read the 2021-2022 budget. Everybody is waiting for that to see some of the other details that we haven't seen from the budget. But so far we know it's a 3.6 trillion budget, and I know that figure is so huge. I mean, how do you start breaking down in your mind how much 3.6 trillion is? Yeah, but there's going to be a breakdown of that. Just a brief of the three arms of government. How much are they going to be getting from the budget? The executive is going to be getting 1.92 trillion shillings. Parliament is going to be getting 37 billion, which is too little compared to what the executive is getting. The judiciary, they're going to get 17 billion shillings, and the counties are going to be allocated about 316 billion shillings. Yeah. And the other issue that's dominating conversation today is our debt, because out of the 3.6 trillion shillings, we have only managed to raise 2 trillion shillings, in ordinary revenue. That is what the government has actually collected from Kenyans. That's how much tax we were able to raise. So most of the other money is going to be funded by debt. And that's a topic that has dominated conversation today as the budget is being read. And that's going on right now. Don't worry, we'll have it live here on Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook, we can have 2 live streams. But meanwhile, as that is happening, I can see the speaker is walking into, Parliament right now. He's just walked in, and he's going to be presiding over that process in Parliament. About 122 MPs are, attending this session. Just giving you some updates from what is happening right now at Parliament. And it seems like everyone is nobody really wants to get the job of Treasury CS Ukuriatani right now. In fact, Gladys Wanga has said that nobody wants to be doing the budget at this particular time. It's a tough and serious balancing act. So that is happening. In case you're watching on live on Facebook, yes, we are live concurrently. We have 2 streams, on one on the budget day 2021-2022, and the other one is here live on Speedfeed. So we can see both. So you can react to what is happening at Parliament right now. The speaker is speaking as that is happening. Meanwhile, shall we talk about other things that are happening, during the day? Other news that are happening. Updates on the BRT system. The BRT system rollout has been stalled for many years. And their companies had already made custom buses for this system. So I can't even try to imagine that investment, what is going to happen to it. But anyway, this story keeps changing. There's new facts, new developments almost every other month. So, that's the latest from PS Charles Hinga. Meanwhile, yesterday, something happened. President Uhuru, he promised to give jobs to Kenyans who make homemade guns at the gun manufacturing plant that was opened in Ruiru. If you didn't know, these are guns that were collected from people. Look at all of them. He burnt them yesterday in Ngong at the traffic police training school, and you can see them. So apparently there is a considerable number of Kenyans who actually make guns from home, and the president talked to them, and he said, these were his words. He said, instead of waiting for police bullets, I know you are there. Come to us and tell us that you have stopped crime. The skill you have will help us make legal weapons. All of those guns were manufactured in the country by apparently people who are skilled enough to make guns. What do you think about this? I think worth noting that when this was happening yesterday in Ngong, there were about 5,000 guns which have been collected, because the government has been going to people, trying to collect illegal firearms. And what's shocking about this story is that level of skill. Is the government justified to want to give these people jobs? Right? I think they are. What's your reaction to that? Let me know in the comment section. Yeah, as the budget is being read, so I see a lot of you are switching to the live stream to watch the budget, but it's going to be a long process. Before the actual budget is read, there's a lot that's going to happen, so we might as well take a look at some other stories that are setting the conversation and driving the conversation in the news today. So the government is also cracking down on potato farmers, traders and transporters. So this is a new directive in compliance with the Irish potato regulations that were gazetted in December 2019. So any potato dealer, whether a transporter, a trader, a warehouse that deals with potatoes, a collection center, an importer or exporter, they have to be registered. If you're not registered, you will either pay a fine of 5 million shillings or 3 years imprisonment. And police have been going around the country, in some markets and arresting traders since yesterday. So that's something else, that if you see the price of chips muitu going up, this is the reason why. There's an actual law that wants to register all farmers and handlers of potatoes. And I have to ask, so what if you're just doing it to feed your family? Is it going to happen to you as well? Yeah, that's a story that's driving the conversation in the news. Meanwhile, everybody's talking about this. Former Chief Justice David Maraga, big words. Yesterday, he said in an interview with KTN, he said that he will remember President Uhuru as a president who disregarded the law. After the whole saga of the president leaving out 6 charges out of the 41. Yeah, and that is something else that has dominated the conversation since yesterday. Meanwhile, Nyeri Town MP Kimani Mbugua, he's responded to those remarks by former CJ David Maraga and Willie Mutunga about the president. And in a statement, he said, this is what he said actually. He said that CJ Mutunga and CJ Maraga should just shut up. They established the thinking that the judiciary is independent and not part of the government. They imagined themselves to be above the president in terms of pecking order of government. Those were his words in response to that. So that's something else that's driving the conversation today. So feel free to leave me a comment if you're watching here on Facebook. There's going to be sorry about that. The whole budget reading process is going to take a while. So let's take a look at some of the stories, some of the other stories, and then I can let you go to watch that stream. Right? Let's go through them very fast here. So another story, a sad story from Limuru. An 81-year-old woman was murdered and her body dumped in a cow pen. This story here by Citizen indicates that the woman lived alone but had employed a farmhand who is now considered the main suspect in that murder. Meanwhile, the Kenya National Examination Council, they have a new CEO. His name is David Jangere, and he will serve for a term of 5 years beginning July 1st. In a statement, NEC said that he will be tasked with spearheading the transformative gains that the council has made in examination management, especially in reforms that ended, the leakage of examinations and restored credibility and integrity in the national examinations in Kenya. Meanwhile, the UDA party, they put out a statement asking Kenyans to donate funds or materials or their time to repair Gashie Road. So this is a statement they put out. Gashie, remember, is in Kiambaa constituency, which is holding a by-election that will stage a face-off between UDA's John Jagona, is that guy who's in there, and Jubilee's Karire Nyama in that by-election. So this is one of the strategies they're employing, to engage people to contribute from their own pocket towards funding the construction of that road. Now, something else that is in today's budget, the government has increased funding for universities. Yeah, this is a detail that is contained in the budget. In the last financial year, universities got 41 billion shillings, but in this year's budget, they will be given 61 billion shillings. So most of them have cash strapped because the number of students posted to universities has increased, but they haven't been getting more money as more students come in. Another story is the Ministry of Interior. They told Parliament that KRA has not paid for security services offered to them by police since 2016. So KRA owes the Interior Ministry about 143 million shillings. On their part, KRA, through their Director General Mbugua, they say that they haven't been able to pay security and legal services because they are also on a tight budget. Imagine the guys who collect your taxes, they're complaining about being cashed up because they're not able to meet all their bills because PRL budget is tight. Now, meanwhile, also the president yesterday in his address, destroying the illegal firearms just highlighted a few minutes ago, he also addressed the issue of inter-clan conflicts in some parts of the country. He said that the government will not tolerate leaders who fuel inter-clan conflicts and blame it on terrorism. Yeah. Now, in other trending news today, off the cuff, what people have been talking about, former US President Donald Trump, he congratulated Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari for banning Twitter from Nigeria. Remember, Trump was banned from Twitter, and he said maybe he was reminiscing. He said he should have done it, just ban Twitter, and now Nigerians can't even complain to anyone because they don't have Twitter. Where are they going to do it? Maybe on Facebook, but it's a whole different story. Anyway, moving on to other stories. NMS will be shutting down about 1,000 illegal dump sites in Nairobi, which have become an ISO following an order by the president. So people have been using illegal, all of these dump sites in Nairobi, and the president directed that they close 1,000 of them. Now, some news from the Tekra Mugai's murder case. A court in Nairobi issued an arrest warrant for 3 of Omar Lali's friends. Omar Lali is the main suspect in the murder. The arrest warrant was issued because the 3, they were summoned, but they failed to appear in court. And a police report says that the 3 were believed to be the first people at the scene in the Lamu house where Tekra Mugai was injured before her death. Now, finally, Jubilee Vice Chair David Murathe, he spoke to NTV last night and he hinted about exiting from his position in the party. He says his work is done. In the statement to NTV, he said that our job was to push out those who do not believe in the dream of the party. I am happy they have found a home. I'm happy they have found a house called UDA. Our work is done. So he's hinting at exiting the Jubilee Party. He says that their positions are not permanent. They were just interim positions. And now that they have cleaned house, it's time for him to probably exit. Said everything, but, stating out clearly that he's going to exit from the Jubilee Party. All right, so that's about it from other news that are making headlines today, but everybody is talking about the budget. Right now, what is happening in Parliament, the MPs, the session is going on right now. As I told you, it's going to be a while. There's going to be a few things that will happen before Treasury CS Ukur Yatani actually speaks. And I just give you some updates on what is happening on the budget. The executive arm of the government is going to get the lion's share of the budget, 1.92 trillion shillings. Parliament is going to get 37 billion, and the judiciary are going to get 17 billion. And money for devolution to the counties is 316 billion shillings in this year's budget. So much is expected, this afternoon. I don't want to go into conversation, but I want to go out and speak to people, as to what we expect from the budget. The prices of, unga, the VAT for, basic commodities, unga, bread and milk. We're going to be expecting that because we cannot relate to how big 3.6 trillion is, but at least you can relate when you know that the price of bread has increased by 10 shillings. That one is going to hit home. Right? Or the price of unga has increased by a certain amount of money. So that one is going to hit home. Or also the price of alcohol, the price of cigarettes. That's something, that we're looking forward to. Every year there's an adjustment, taxation. There's some of the details that we'll be expecting. As common Mwananchi, I'm not an economist, so I'm not promising to give you a complicated breakdown of the budget. But I'll be speaking to you. You can leave me a comment as well on what you expect from the budget, in the comment section. But thank you so much for watching. I want to leave you to the stream. We are live in Parliament, so you can, just hop off this one and go off to that one and watch what is happening in Parliament as the budget is being read. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Kimani Mbugua. This is Speed Feed. We'll see you again tomorrow. Goodbye.